We welcome you back to CBS Mornings, looking at a live shot of Buckingham Palace. You're going to see that a lot in the next few weeks, next few days for sure. Yeah. We spent a lot of time looking back at the legacy of Queen Elizabeth. Let's take a moment to look ahead at King Charles and his reign. Well, we know it won't be nearly as long as his mother's. Remember, he's 73 years old. She was 25 when she took the throne. But he has already started forging his own path, you could say. This morning, he told Britain's parliament he feels, quote, the weight of history. Mark Phillips is outside Buckingham Palace with more on that part of the story. Mark, good morning to you. Everybody's wondering what kind of king he's going to be. And, of course, that remains to be seen. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Well, good morning. We're into day 4 of what historians may now come to call the Carolinian era, an ancient royal term for reigns under kings named Charles. And already there are signs that it will be different from the just past Elizabethan one. So much changes, so much stays the same. That's the point of a royal transition. Those crests on the buglers' tunics, E2R they say, Elizabeth II, Regina for Queen. There's some work in store for the royal seamstresses, and for the people who print the money, and for the people who have to replace all those mailboxes. Royal branding is about to change. King Charles has already changed the way he signs his name. It's now Charles R for Rex, King. Charles actually has a history of handwriting issues, which leads to another change. He's famous for sending scribbled notes to government ministers, black spider memos they were called, often telling those ministers what they should be doing or not doing. And they were considered improper, as members of the royal family, let alone future kings, are not supposed to interfere in policy.
My life will, of course, change.
Charles admitted on becoming king that his days as an advocate are over.
It will no longer be possible for me to give so much of my time and energies to the charities and issues for which I care so deeply.
He was saying very clearly, I put that behind me. He said on other occasions, and he really repeated it in the speech, if in the past he has been a contentious figure, his aim now is to unify.
But however much Charles holds his tongue or his pen, this will still be a different kind of monarchy.
We never really knew what the Queen thought about most things. We all know what King Charles thinks about a lot of things. These are very different starting points.
But what else will change? Did the joint appearance of the estranged princes, William and Harry, and their wives, Kate and Meghan, mean another chapter of the royal family feud was about to close? Too soon to tell. We do know this: Camilla, the Queen consort, is now officially part of the royal furniture. And we know that the workings of the monarchy are no mystery to Charles. What we don't know is exactly what he wants to do with it. Does he want to make it smaller, as is often hinted? With Harry and Meghan gone, at least for now, and with Prince Andrew sidelined, it's shrinking anyway. One thing does seem clear: the old world pageantry of the House of Windsor is part of the way Britain sees itself. And even if Charles turns out to be a modernizing king, he won't likely start with that. What about the royal trappings, ceremonial uniforms with rows of medals and swords and gold braid and what have you? Could we stand a little less of that?
I don't know. I think in the age of the digital universe, we need every bit of that we can get.
There was a lot of talk about how hard an act the Queen would be to follow. If there's a consensus here, it is that Charles is doing all of the right things and that it's working. Gayle?
All right, as you said, day 4. Mark Phillips reporting from London. We thank you.